Hey everybody, Nintendo Hodge back with another Road to 600 video. I'm adding 16 games to the collection, and I teased it in the last video on a big one, and I'm going to save that one for the end because yes, I did pick it up. I'm pretty excited about it, and we'll talk about it more when I get there.
When I'm on the road.
So a friend, fellow collector, somewhat getting out of the collecting, I guess you could say, had pretty much this whole set available for sale, and I went and picked through a bunch, and I ended up picking out, I believe it's 12 games from him. Danny, thank you very much for letting me get those off you to put into my collection, and let's just go through those right now. We have 3D World Runner. I actually really like this. Pretty basic game, but I don't know, I enjoyed it. We have Cobra Commander, Cobra Command, no relation to Cobra Commander.
Morons! I have morons on my payroll!
From G.I. Joe. This one was okay. Flight of the Intruder, another flight simulator game, very similar to the other ones that I've played. Nothing real special about this one. Super Spike V-Ball and World Cup. I love the Super Spike V-Ball. It's like the Super Dodgeball type guys, a lot of fun. And World Cup, again, I guess it's Nintendo World Cup. And yeah, I just said World Cup, but it's Nintendo World Cup. Again, it's those characters like in Dodgeball and River City Ransom. Both games really fun. Super Spike V-Ball would be more fun with playing with a buddy. Sesame Street Countdown with, of course, the Count. Surprisingly, this one's actually kind of decent for a kid's game. You hit a spinning wheel, select a number, or it randomly generates a number for you, and you have to go and collect that number of items while you walk across the screen. So if you pick the number 2, anytime you see the number 2 or 2 things, you collect that. Roger Clemens MVP Baseball. Baseball game, not so good. Mock Rider. This one's actually fun because you get to like shoot other vehicles while you're driving. I did find, and I don't recall this playing it in the past, the difficulty on it, because all the vehicles seem to come from behind you. So you'll be driving this way, and you're like, oh, vehicle's coming, I'm going to move over here, and then they crash into the back of you. So, Bases Loaded. Probably the worst baseball game I've played on the system. Not very good at all. Battle Tank. Pretty slow. It took me a while to find the enemies on the screen while you're driving around. But it's fun when you do interact with the enemy. It's dogfight, not dogfight, I guess, because it's tank. But like a tank battle where you can use your missiles or your machine guns. Commando, Capcom game. This one's pretty fun. Yeah, not much to say about it. Conflict. Honestly, I don't recall too much about this one. I don't know if that means it wasn't very good or not. And it's funny looking at this one. Just got to get my eyes on here. It's got a jumbo video from North York, Ontario in it, which is pretty cool. That was a video chain around our area. So it's neat to have that little history on the back of that. And then the last one from him, I had high hopes, but I knew not to have high hopes because I played this before. But we have Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall. None of what you do in this mimics the movie at all, except for the very beginning where they talk about how you are on Mars or why you're on Mars, and they took your memories and stuff like that. So, very sad because this could have been a fun game. I went to a mini video game show up north near our camp in Sudbury. It was the Nickel City Con. Outside in like a big tent area, and there was a regular BGE vendor there, and I actually found a game I needed, and it was Deja Vu. I went to a mini video game show up north near our camp in Sudbury. It was the Nickel City Con. Outside in like a big tent area, and there was a regular BGE vendor there, and I actually found a game I needed, and it was Deja Vu.
And I actually found a game I needed, and it was Deja Vu. Deja Vu. Deja Vu.
It was funny, somebody actually commented on my post saying, don't I remember you getting that game before? And I said, no. And then it took me like 2 days to go, oh, Deja Vu. Ha ha ha. Very creative. Yeah, Deja Vu. A couple of grabs a local pickup my wife found. Somebody was selling these. We have LJN Wolverine. Not a very good adaptation of the Wolverine, unfortunately. I wish it would have been better, but it is not. Decent shape, a little bit of markup there on the label. And one that I don't think a lot of people talk about, and it gets a bad rap, and that is The Simpsons Bart versus the World. When I actually played this, I didn't mind it. I didn't find it as difficult as like Bart versus the Space Mutants, but it was enjoyable. And there was like Simpson trivia on it, which I have to say pretty good at. Not to toot my own horn, but I like me some Simpsons. So yeah, another Simpsons game in the set. I think there's one more. I think there's 3 total. Not 100% sure. All right, and then one of my personal holy grails for the Road to 600 for the NES. Trevor, who is another collector friend that lives up north, for whatever reason, he's like, yeah, if this is a game you want, I'm willing to sell it to you. I got some money from, of course, the Barrie Game Exchange, so I spoiled myself a little bit, and I got to add this to the collection. No, it's not number 1, and I teased this before, but we have Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers number 2. Chip 'n Dale's, the first one's probably my favorite game on the NES. Top 3 for sure. And to be able to add number 2, and it's in pretty good shape, beside that little bit of marker, which I don't mind. There's a scuff on the outside of the case there, but it's in a protective case. So this one is going to go up here somewhere. I haven't decided yet. Maybe Swoon will move down, or Stone Bros, I'm not sure. But so happy. Thank you again, Trevor, for selling this to me and letting me add it to my collection. There we have it. 16 games added to the collection in this lot, including Chip 'n Dale's 2. I never thought I would grab this, but I did. This brings me 451 to 466 on the Road to 600. Very, very happy to add all of these to the collection. Thanks to Danny, Trevor, and everybody else that's helped me on the road here. And yeah, we'll see everybody in the next video. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers.